What memories do you have of Super Bowl IV, if any? I think you're about to turn 5.
That's right, and unfortunately I don't remember anything about the game. I do know that I was at the game, and I have a photo sitting next to my dad, but unfortunately no memories.
Imagine a cherished memory, cherished photo for you.
Absolutely, yeah, it sure is, especially with the context of it being 50 years since we've been in that game, and of course I'm going to be thinking about my dad a lot on this Sunday.
What are the earliest teams you remember? The earliest players? What years, if you can recall?
Well, unfortunately, the first game I remember was the Christmas Day game. A couple of years later, and I remember the disappointment of not winning that game and just how quiet the stadium was at the end. So the players that were part of the Super Bowl IV team, I've gotten to know them very well over the years because we have an active alumni group. They're great to come back. So many of them are around the franchise on a weekly basis. So it's been fun being with them, and I know they're as excited for the opportunity for the Chiefs to get back to the Super Bowl as we are.
Awesome.
Take us through your emotions right now. I know you're probably excited, maybe nervous, or ready to get to Sunday. What are you feeling as the week progresses?
Well, it finally really hit me when we landed in Miami. There were a whole lot of logistics to work through last week, but this week it's really sort of back to football, getting the team ready for the game, and then of course all the festivities that go along with the Super Bowl. I don't think the nerves will hit until we get to the weekend. I know they'll be there, especially when that opening whistle blows, but it's going to be a tremendous experience, and I'm so glad to get to experience it with my family and my mother especially.
How is your mom doing this week? Because I know that she's been to every Super Bowl, and of course this has got to be pretty special being with the Chiefs there.
Absolutely. She's as excited as I've ever seen her. Of course, last week, getting to hand the Lamar Hunt Trophy to her was very special. Great experience for her and our family to get to do that in Arrowhead. But she loves the Super Bowl. And I've told the story where 3 or 4 years ago she said to me, Clark, it'd be really great if the Chiefs could play in this game again while I'm still able to go. So I'm glad we're doing that. I'm glad the game's in Miami. She's going to love the week down here.
Clark, it seems over the last 10 years since you've been chairman now, I mean, it was a home run hire when you hired Andy Reid, but how would you characterize the learning process as chairman through the last 10 years and getting to this point?
Yeah, I think the journey to get to the point where we're playing in the Super Bowl makes it even more special because I know how hard it is. The last 10 years, it didn't start off like I wanted it to initially. We had a heavy lift. The team really needed to start over, if you will. We needed new leadership. We needed to do a better job in drafting players. And so, I go back to that and think about, those early years a lot. And, things changed completely when we added Andy Reid to the staff 7 years ago, and then 3 years ago when we drafted Patrick Mahomes to join the team. But I think the process really makes it special, and I'm sure I'll reflect a lot on that in the coming weeks.
Is that a remark on just how close everything is in this league? How easily Andy could have gone somewhere else? How easily you guys could have picked up Mahomes? Maybe he goes earlier than that, and kind of sliding doors moments, and how close things are to happening and not happening?
Yeah, I think football coaches like to say it's a game of inches, and that's certainly true. And it was a game of inches a year ago when we didn't win the AFC Championship game. And you're exactly right. You have to have things that go your way. You have to have some good fortune along the ways. I think the most important thing is the people. If you have great leaders in your organization like we do with Andy Reid, Brett Veach, Mark Donovan, Patrick Mahomes as our quarterback, it gives you a much better chance of reaching the big game and getting to play in a Super Bowl.
A couple more, guys. Super Bowl 54 now. What do you think your dad would think of what the Super Bowl would become?
I think he would be amazed. He and my mother actually talked about that at one of the last Super Bowls they attended together about 15 years ago. And he said, I always knew it was going to be big, but I didn't know it was going to be this big. And that was back around Super Bowl 40. So, here we are 14 years later, and the game just continues to grow. And I think he would be amazed by it, but also thrilled to see the game that he really helped create what it's become.
Clark, it had been 50 years since these guys have been playing. The Chiefs have been in the Super Bowl. Chiefs Kingdom. I know you've talked about the fans and everything, but I mean a message back home to all these people who are going to be watching this game on Sunday. What it means to them.
Well, I would say as a family, we're so excited for them. 50 years is too long. We're glad to be back in the Super Bowl. We appreciate the support because we would not have been able to get it done and to be here without them. And when I was standing on that stage last week, I made a point of looking up into Arrowhead, and no one had left their seat, and just told me how important the moment was for them. So on behalf of the Kansas City Chiefs, thank you. We're so glad to be back and appreciate your support.